1. Kyiv, the soul of a nation. Kyiv, the ancient heart of Eastern Europe, is a city where resilience meets elegance, where golden domes shimmer above the Dnipro River, and history breathes through every cobblestone street. As one of Europe's oldest capitals, Kyiv blends centuries of faith, art, and endurance into one extraordinary experience. Begin your journey at Kyiv-Pechersky, the Monastery of the Caves, a UNESCO World Heritage Site founded in 1051. Beneath its gleaming churches lies a labyrinth of underground tunnels, where monks once lived and prayed, their mummified remains preserved for nearly a millennium. Above ground, bell towers rise toward the sky, reflecting sunlight on domes that seem touched by fire. A few kilometers away, the St. Sophia Cathedral stands as a masterpiece of Byzantine art. Its 11th century mosaics and frescoes tell the story of a civilization that bridged east and west. Climb the bell tower for a panoramic view of Kyiv's skyline, a breathtaking tapestry of ancient spires and modern steel. Walk down Andreyevsky Descent, often called the Montmartre of Kyiv, where artists sell paintings and musicians fill the air with folk melodies. At the foot of the hill lies Podil, a district of cozy cafes, creative studios, and Soviet-era architecture reborn into modern charm. When the sun sets, take a stroll along the Dnipro embankment, where the city spirit truly comes alive, from glowing bridges to open-air concerts echoing under the stars. Kyiv isn't just the capital of Ukraine, it's the beating heart of its identity, unbroken, artistic, and deeply human. 2. Lviv, the city of coffee and culture. If Kyiv is the soul, Lviv is the heart, a romantic city of cobblestones, cathedrals, and cafe aromas that linger like memories. Founded in the 13th century, Lviv has been part of Poland, Austria, and the Soviet Union, and each era left behind layers of architecture and culture that now coexist in harmony. Step into Rynok Square, the historic center surrounded by colorful Renaissance and Baroque townhouses. The rhythm of life here feels almost theatrical. Trams rattle past street performers, and every cafe overflows with laughter and the scent of freshly roasted beans. Lviv claims to be the coffee capital of Eastern Europe, and once you visit Lviv coffee mining manufacture, where waiters descend into a candle-lit mine to brew coffee, you'll believe it. Climb the Lviv Town Hall Tower for an unforgettable view, red rooftops stretching to the Carpathian horizon, church bells ringing in harmony, and the sound of life pulsing through narrow lanes. Explore the Armenian Cathedral, a centuries-old sanctuary adorned with frescoes that seem to glow in candlelight, and visit Lyshey Kyiv Cemetery, where the graves of poets, soldiers, and visionaries lie beneath weeping trees. As dusk falls, Lviv transforms into a fairy tale. Gas lamps flicker, street musicians play violins under archways, and the city's timeless elegance unfolds. It's not just a place, it's an atmosphere, an emotion, a whisper of old Europe that never faded. 3. Odessa, the pearl of the Black Sea. Odessa is a city of contrast, sun-soaked beaches, and 19th-century opera houses, wild humor and refined elegance. Known as the Pearl of the Black Sea, this southern metropolis radiates a free-spirited charm that has captivated travelers for centuries. Start your exploration at the Potemkin Stairs, an optical illusion of architecture that seems endless as it descends toward the harbor. Nearby stands the Odessa Opera and Ballet Theater, one of Europe's most magnificent, a symphony of Baroque and Rococo design, where chandeliers shimmer above velvet seats. Walk through Deribasovskaya Street, the beating heart of the city, where every corner offers something unexpected, from Soviet nostalgia shops to rooftop terraces overlooking the sea. Odessa's humor is legendary, and its people are known for their warmth and wit, which infuse daily life with a unique energy. Head to the Primorsky Boulevard, lined with old trees and views of the Black Sea, then wander toward Arcadia Beach, the epicenter of nightlife. During summer, beach clubs light up the coast with music, and the salty breeze carries laughter well past midnight. Odessa's mix of history, art, and pure joie de vivre makes it one of Europe's most distinctive coastal cities, a place where the Black Sea sparkles, and life feels like a perpetual celebration. 4. Kamianets-Podilsky, the fortress of time. Few places in Eastern Europe possess the drama and majesty of Kamianets-Podilsky, a medieval fortress city perched on a rocky island carved by the Smotrich River. The moment you glimpse its ancient stone towers rising from the mist, it feels as if you've stepped into a fantasy world. The Kamianets-Podilsky Castle, built in the 14th century, dominates the skyline, a masterpiece of medieval architecture with massive turrets and defensive walls that once protected a thriving trade city. Walk its ramparts, feel the chill of its dungeons, and gaze out over the canyon below. The view alone is worth the journey. The old town surrounding the fortress is equally enchanting, with cobbled lanes, Renaissance houses, and quiet courtyards filled with flowers. Visit St. Peter and Paul Cathedral, City Hall Tower, and the Castle Bridge, which offers an unforgettable panorama of the fortress at sunset. At night, the entire fortress glows with golden illumination, and the sound of distant church bells fills the valley. Kamyanets-Podilsky isn't just a historical site, it's a living echo of Ukraine's medieval might, where legends are still alive in stone. 5. Chernivtsi, the Little Vienna of Ukraine. Chernivtsi, often called the Little Vienna, is a city of elegance and intellect, a crossroads of cultures, shaped by Romanian, Austrian, and Ukrainian influences. Once part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, it retains a poetic charm that rivals the great cities of Central Europe. The crown jewel is the Chernivtsi National University, a UNESCO World Heritage Site designed by Czech architect Josef Hlavka. Its red brick towers, intricate mosaics, and Byzantine domes make it one of the most beautiful academic complexes in the world. Stroll through its courtyards and gardens, you'll feel as though you're inside a royal palace. Explore Olha Kobylianska Street, a pedestrian avenue lined with pastel facades, bookshops, and cafes where time seems to pause. Visit the Drama Theater, the Regional Art Museum, and the Turkish Square, each echoing Chernivtsi's layered history. The city's cultural spirit is magnetic, from classical concerts to literary festivals. Chernivtsi thrives as a beacon of creativity and harmony. It's not a city you visit to rush, it's one you savor, like a poem written in sunlight. 6. Carpathian Mountains, the wild heart of Ukraine. Stretching across western Ukraine, the Carpathian Mountains are a world of misty peaks, pine forests, and wooden villages where time feels still. This is the Ukraine of folklore, of shepherd songs, wooden churches, and mountain trails that lead to horizons of silence and peace. Base yourself in Uremk or Verkhovina, charming towns that blend nature, culture, and adventure. Hike through the Karnahra Range, home to Hoverla, Ukraine's highest peak. From its summit, the view unfolds like a painting: emerald valleys, ribbons of rivers, and distant ridgelines fading into blue. Explore Sinevir Lake, known as the Eye of the Carpathians, a mystical alpine lake surrounded by dense spruce forest. Visit Hutsul villages, where traditional crafts, music, and wooden architecture keep centuries-old traditions alive. In winter, the Carpathians transform into a snowy paradise, with ski resorts like Bukovel offering modern facilities amid pristine scenery. Whether you seek solitude, adventure, or authenticity, the Carpathians reveal Ukraine's natural soul: untamed, beautiful, and eternal. 7. Kharkiv, the city of students and strength. Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city, blends Soviet grandeur with youthful energy. Known as the country's academic hub, it hosts hundreds of thousands of students, creating a dynamic and innovative atmosphere. The centerpiece is Freedom Square, one of Europe's largest, dominated by the imposing Dersprom building, a symbol of early Soviet constructivist architecture. Walk through Shevchenko Park, filled with fountains and cafes, and visit the Mirror Stream Fountain, one of Kharkiv's most photographed landmarks. Cultural life thrives here. The Kharkiv Art Museum, the Opera and Ballet Theater, and the Historical Museum showcase the city's deep artistic roots. Beyond the center, explore Gorky Park, a vast amusement area with panoramic cable car views and serene gardens. Despite its modern facade, Kharkiv remains grounded in tradition, resilience, and progress, a city that has reinvented itself time and again. 8. Uzhhorod, the gateway to Europe. Tucked against Ukraine's western border with Slovakia, Uzhhorod is a city where Europe begins. Its blend of Hungarian, Slovak, and Ukrainian heritage gives it a character unlike anywhere else in the country. The Uzhhorod Castle, dating back to the 9th century, dominates the old town, surrounded by charming streets filled with Art Nouveau architecture and cozy cafes. The Transcarpathian Museum of Folk Architecture nearby recreates traditional wooden houses and churches from across the region, a beautiful glimpse into rural life. Stroll along the Uz River Promenade, one of Europe's longest, shaded by pink cherry blossoms in spring and golden leaves in autumn. Visit the Greek Catholic Cathedral, admire the city's bridges and sculptures, and enjoy a glass of local wine. Transcarpathia is one of Ukraine's finest wine regions. Uzhhorod feels effortlessly European yet uniquely Ukrainian, intimate, colorful, and endlessly welcoming. 9. Chernihiv, the ancient guardian. Chernihiv is one of Ukraine's oldest cities, founded over 1,000 years ago, and its ancient churches rank among the most important in Eastern Europe. Once a major center of Kievan Rus, Chernihiv remains a living museum of medieval architecture and Slavic spirituality. Visit the Transfiguration Cathedral, built in the 11th century, and the Boris and Gleb Cathedral, both exquisite examples of early Rus architecture. The Anthony Caves, carved beneath the Trinity Monastery, lead deep underground into monastic chambers and echoing corridors. Walk through Val Park, with its ancient ramparts and panoramic views of the Desna River. Then wander into the historic downtown, where old mansions and quiet streets preserve the atmosphere of centuries past. Chernihiv is a place of quiet dignity, a city that whispers the stories of princes, monks, and warriors, standing as one of the purest reflections of Ukraine's ancient soul. 10. Zaporizhia, the land of the Cossacks. Few places embody the spirit of independence like Zaporizhia, the cradle of the Cossack movement, set along the mighty Dnipro River. This city is both industrial and historical, where steel bridges rise over the same waters once sailed by Cossack boats. The heart of Zaporizhia's heritage lies on Kordicha Island, a national reserve and open-air museum dedicated to the Zaporizhian Sich, the legendary fortress of the Cossacks. Here, wooden fortifications, towers, and traditional houses recreate the atmosphere of the 16th century, while costumed reenactors bring history vividly to life. Take a boat along the Dnipro for views of the island's cliffs and sprawling landscapes. Visit the Museum of the Cossacks, then explore the modern city's Lenin Avenue, one of Europe's longest streets, lined with Soviet-era monuments and vibrant cafes. Zaporizhia is more than a destination, it's a symbol of courage, identity, and the unyielding freedom that defines Ukraine itself.